Give me this guy's ID, hand me over the passport. How is he getting away as a 16-year-old? Is it just me, or does Bianco look like he's had a rough childhood? If this guy comes up to you in the street and says he's 17, run.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Barone just looks like he's come off a 3-day bender with the boys. And Ferrara, how has he grown a facial hair at 15? A full beard at that. How does a 17-year-old already have grey hair? Filippo, seek help.
Stupendous.
Over the past year or so on the channel, I've decided to shed some limelight on some of the lesser known nations, the underdogs in world football, whether that's creating an entire World Cup filled with the worst ranked nations in FIFA, or attempting to find the next big generational talent. But today we're hitting replay on an old FIFA 20 hit of mine, sending my youth academy scouts to the worst nations in the world. Purely based off the FIFA World Rankings, not my personal opinion. I hold my hands up, don't come after me. This is statistically proven based off performances, results. We all know that the Youth Academy Scouting Network, despite its updates this year to include some nations that have been well overdue, you can't really scout in every nation in the world. Like, you look at Africa, there's only a select amount of countries. EA have added a whole bunch this year that were much anticipated, like Estonia, Wales, Lithuania, Latvia, but there are still many more yet to be added. That's why today I'm sending my 3 Youth Academy scouts to some of the 3 lowest ranked nations in the world, in an attempt to discover some unknown Youth Academy ballers, transition them into the Wigan first team, and send the Laddicks back up to the top of English football. That's right, today we're taking over former FA Cup champions back in 2013. Now first up, it is the nation, we all know him, we all love him, it is San Marino. Thanks to PC mods, I can literally send this guy anywhere and just customize it to be San Marino. As you can see here, I'm sending him to Italy because it's the closest thing. It is literally a micro-state and has a population of 36,000 people. My YouTube channel has 3 times their population.
That's a lot of damage.
No disrespect to any San Marinese viewers watching. They are currently bottom of the FIFA World Rankings, number 210. Their national team has only ever won 1 game, playing people like the local bartender in goal. These guys produce better results at Eurovision than on the football pitch. And as you can see there, thanks to PC mods, our boy Oleg will be scouting in San Marino for 9 months. Second to the plate, we're heading to South Asia, hiring the Turkish scout Taner Baykurt, who'll be departing off to Southeast Asia, the ranked 204th nation in the world, Sri Lanka. More known in the sporting world for their cricket, if anything else. Definitely a nation that have mastered the skills of hand-eye coordination. There is our Sri Lankan scouting assessment. For 9 months, let's hope Tanner has a good trip. Finally, last but not least, we are gifting our Northern Irish scout Tom Neal a trip to the Polynesian kingdom of Tonga. That's right, all the way across the globe in the Pacific Islands. They're the highest ranked country in our selection so far, ranked at 202. With a population of 104,000, the Pacific Islanders are known famously more for their rugby league skills. What a selection we've got on display from all different kinds of parts of the world. Let's see what hidden gems and talents we're only possible to find on PC. Will they fit into this Wigan team? Because unfortunately, they're not going to be representing their nations on the international stage, thanks to FIFA not having the likes of these nations in the game. I'll give you updates on how the scout reports are going, who we decide to call up to our youth academy, and who we promote to the first team. Unlike in FIFA 20, we're actually going to be seeing them displayed here in the development youth academy area, which is quite a nice touch, but we won't be having anything to do with our startup youth academy. We're even releasing our homegrown talent, which is something unheard of for me. We're kicking off proceedings with a bare bones youth academy. Anyone has a chance. Let's start simulating and getting these scout reports back. Forget getting excited about Ultimate Team, 100k packs, eat your heart out. I'm more keen to find out what my scout has brought back from San Marino than packing Ronaldo. I'll give you the preview and the first glance of our scout report right here. Nothing really grabbing my attention so far. 15 players in here and none of them deserve to be even called up. Come on, I want my scouts to like find a Sri Lankan Messi, someone with a bit of promise, and right here we've got the highest potential so far with Thirsara Fernando. Valued at 425k, 55 overall with an 83 potential, and he's a goalkeeper. We've signed him up. Oh, okay, we go one better. Avishka Jayawardene. Don't really know if that's a Sri Lankan last name, but he looks like a bit more of an attacking talent with an 800k valuation at 15 years of age. Again right here, Sri Lanka providing the goods with Upul Samawira, 58 overall, 85 potential. I'll take him. And Tonga, go on and show us what surprises you have in store for us. Will we get any Pacific Islanders in the team called up straight away? And no, they're really just mid-average range players that I don't think will transform into anything decent. We start up with our first little crop so far. 80 potential, 90 potential actually. Samawira just randomly got upgraded. And the 15-year-old Avishka with 84 potential, a centre forward. Got to start somewhere with a small batch, but Sri Lanka so far, with their talent, are carrying this video. It's our favorite time of the month it's gonna be for the next few years. No one that's really taken my breath away until I've stumbled upon Afato Tatapu. Is Sri Lanka gonna continue that momentum and provide us with some more gems here as we continue to scroll through their report? Okay, Thisara Samawira. I think we just promoted this guy's brother. We've got the exact same last name already in our youth academy, but we'll take another one. This can't be a coincidence, or there's a football family or a couple going on in Sri Lanka. Jayawardene, we have got two of them now. We're adding to the collection. We'll take a look in this second report, and oh my goodness me, Stefano De Santis. He could be the player of the video. This youth academy star at 15 has 95 potential, 57 overall, and he can either be a goalkeeper or a midfielder. There is no in between, but we're signing him up 100%. No issues there. It's almost put Leo Bernardi out of the spotlight. 87 potential, definitely a striker slash winger type player. Definitely signing him up, and San Marino are actually starting to deliver right here as Fabrizio Testa will get the 15-year-old involved in our youth academy with 3 San Marinese promotions in what was a pretty hectic scout report. It's a new golden boy. All eyes on Stefano De Santis in this video. Bang on 95 potential, 5-star skills already, no traits to show off, but the CM slash CDM, it could go down as a future Ballon d'Or winner. And what's absolutely stunning with the new youth academy this year on FIFA is that you can apply growth development plans on your players. I've already done so for the likes of our Sri Lankan talents, but our new ones like Leo Bernardi, I want to train him up into being, let's say, a mobile striker. Felt like in FIFA 20 we couldn't really do anything once we called them up to the youth academy. Now we can actually have a say in how our youth academy talent gets developed, and it's so satisfying. So maybe one day they might be Wigan first team starters. Massimo Guidi, I'm rating the mustache game. You'd be a great candidate for Movember, but you just aren't going to make it as a footballer. But here in Sri Lanka, we're going to keep getting the same names. Is this how little the pool is, as Kumar Aranga is going to prove us wrong? The 15-year-old goalkeeper with a potential of 88. I'll take that. Our last recommendation on the list, Chaminda Ranatunga. I know he's got low 80s potential, but just because his name is so fun to say, we're signing him up. What does Tom Neal from Tonga have to present us with? We have got 2 brilliant candidates right here. Eloni Faletoese, the Polynesian defender with 85 potential. Welcome to the club. Here's how they rank in our current called up players. We've got Kumar Aranga, the Sri Lankan shot stopper, who looks like he's going to be on the verge of being Wigan's number 1. Let's see where his career goes, because it's pretty hard to find decent left backs and right backs. I'm putting a focus on season 1's reports because I feel like this is the time period where we're going to find our future first team players. With a current count of 14 academy players, not all of them are going to make it into the starting 11, so we need to choose wisely. Now, just as a precursor before I go into this one, I was actually supposed to apply this mod before I started the video, but I forgot, and now we've got some brand new faces for these youth academy players. Yeah, they're quite interesting. Thanks to PC mods yet again, we have just got a bunch of more realistic looking player faces. Not that it actually impacts the way they look in game, it's just more of a 2D portrait add-on. Right now, I'm feeling kind of intimidated, not gonna lie. I've just got a bunch of angry Tongan men staring into my soul. Now, moving on to the Sri Lankans here, and the new faces aren't really providing us with any new talent. No one really worthy of that promotion. Don't think there's gonna be anyone to take away from this. Is it just me, or does Bianco look like he's had a rough childhood? Barone just looks like he's come off a 3-day bender with the boys. And Ferrara, how has he grown facial hair at 15? A full beard at that. Alex Abate, you've got some explaining to do. But here is our current crop of players with their new faces, so take a look, because I'm sure you'll be seeing these kind of 2D images and the new profile photos for the rest of the video. Looks like De Santis' younger brother has tried to make a footballing career, and nah, we're just not going to accept him. I'm not having any more family ties in this video. San Marino hasn't provided this time around, but who has is Sri Lanka. With their own little future Ballon d'Or contender, it is Dilhara Fernando, valued at £2.1 million. This could be the best youth academy player we've seen so far. At a 63 overall already, 94 potential guaranteed. That is a one-way ticket into Wigan's youth academy. How is this guy's head so big? While Sri Lanka's going for quality over quantity, we've got Tonga with 3 decent outputs. Afato Faletolu, the 17-year-old with 85 potential, will take him. Finally, a Tongan attacker, Lagi Vui. We've run into this problem. We've got too many players in our youth academy. So the max capacity for your youth academy is 16, and we have reached the limit. We can't accept any more players, so we're just gonna have to work with what we've got, or just start the releasing spree. Dilhara Fernando, I like what I'm looking at so far. Left mid slash right mid, can also play at CDM, but low work rates definitely need to be improved on. But he is our second highest overall player in this team. The Tongan Faletolu actually takes it out, being 65 overall. How this man is 17 is one of the biggest unsolved mysteries the world has to answer for. If this guy comes up to you in the street and says he's 17, run. I don't know whether it was good or a bad thing to turn on this face mob, but it sure surely providing us with some new content. The last few scout reports, I can't lie, have been a bit dry, so we are bringing up Europa Pizza. The 6'4", 16-year-old will adjust our budgets and sign him as one of our last spots. And our final youth academy position has to go to the San Marinese talent Gianmarco Basile. 15-year-old valued at 625k. Actually, we need to release someone first. Alright, Ranatunga, as much as I love saying your name, you will be sorely missed as we released you out into the world. Look at how versatile this player is already at such a young age. Right mid, right wing, left mid, and cam, all 4 positions taken up. You rarely see that. I think everyone knew who was going to be a guaranteed first team player. As soon as we laid eyes on him, it's Stefano De Santis, the San Marino midfielder who will be promoted first to the senior team. That is just a no-brainer, just like Dilhara Fernando from Sri Lanka. Another pretty obvious choice is Gianmarco Basile, another San Marinese talent, as we've got Kuma Aranga, who definitely claimed that #1 spot in between the sticks. I'm going to opt for the players that have got that high overall advantage. So, our first Tongan to be promoted is Afato Faletolu, and Upul Samawira, yet another right midfielder, will be promoted again. Let's get the Sri Lankans involved. And now, in terms of potential, the highest is going to be Bernardi. So, I think that 87 potential, 6'6", 5-star skill moves will get him over the line. And Kirtopa Pita, I think I have some big plans turning him and converting him into a centre-back. Tangaroa Lima, the left-back, and Fale Toese, who we're going to claim as a right-back. For the rest of them, I guess they have something to prove in Season 2. We're wrapping up Season 1. We're pretty much towards the business end of the season, and Wigan will not be promoted to the championship. That bodes a perfect opportunity for the Worst Nation Youth Academy to get their game time and improve here in the 3rd tier. We need to locate like the Tongan Nesta or something, because our backline is in desperate need. See if our scouts can do us a solid and find any more baller recruits. Now, Season 2's tactics, I've decided to shake things up, not in terms of countries, but what the instructions we give our scouts are. Instead of just sending them over with just find us anything, get us any player, we've gone for specifics here. Hiring a new 5-star Russian scout, Diakov. He's going to San Marino to find a defensive-minded player. Baker is off to Sri Lanka again, and he's out to search for a goalkeeper. And Tom Neal is back in Tonga, and this time he's on a mission to find Tongan attackers. Another look at the starting 11 headed into Season 2. There will be more focus on the players in our first team, and then if we decide to promote any players, I'll let you know. It's time for Sir BCHD to throw his hat in the ring and start to build upon them. Do I even need to explain why is Tonga producing so many overaged men that are classifying themselves as teenagers? I'll never know. We've arrived at the halfway mark of Season 2, and this is where we're going to be doing our call-ups. We've looked them up through their scout reports, and now they're in our youth academy. And first up on the list is Giuseppe De Luca from San Marino. We stuck him on the stopper development plan. He's gone from a 50 overall to a 64. I don't even know. Make it make sense, but he's got potential to be special, so that's a one-way ticket into the first team. The exact same goes for Kale Tatupu from Tonga, the left mid / left winger, 16 years of age, straight from the Polynesian Islands to England. Now we go on to another San Marinese talent is Jacopo Conti. An anchor man at 16, he's still got a lot of work to do, but with 81 to 94 potential, we're going to take a punt on him. Daniel Di Stefano, another San Marino defender. He's versatile as well, with 17 play at centre back and right back with an 84 to 94 potential. You just know it's a no-brainer, just like Filippo Casadei. The San Marinese talent is showing up right now, as we've converted him from a CDM to a centre back. We just need extra numbers in defense, and he is going to provide us with so much cover. It's another wing back, another youth academy San Marino baller. Alessio Lombardo can play out right back and left back, any side of the flanks, and he's going to slot in perfectly. And to change things up around here, finally we've got a switch of nations. It's our second Sri Lankan goalkeeper, Gunnar Wardene. We're going to promote him straight away as a backup. Fabrizio Testa will give him a chance as the San Marino CDM. I'm pretty sure we've seen this name around a fair bit. Jaya Wardene, we're going to promote him to the senior team, yet another Sri Lankan midfielder, and our third Sri Lankan goalkeeper. We have had literally no other candidates besides these guys. It's like they keep breeding out up-and-coming goalkeeper talents. Sri Lanka is in plentiful supply, and our final call-up will be the Tongan Eloni Famai. With all that admin work out the way, we've collected a whole crop, a whole bunch of talent. Thankfully, now we can just get rid of all the real-life players here at Wigan and now fully rely on our Youth Academy bundle. Let's see if they've got it in them to survive League 1 in Season 2. Hold up, this team has definitely performed above and beyond my expectations. On the last day of the league, they literally snuck into the playoffs in 6th. This Wigan Youth Academy only side is setting their sights on an unlikely promotion. In the FA Cup, the young and upcoming side actually made it all the way to a round 4 replay against Birmingham, where they lost 3-0. And in the League 1 playoffs, it was just a bit too much, as in the promotion playoff semi-final, they lost on aggregate to Peterborough, that 4-0 promotion hopes to the second tier were squandered, but at least we got our heads held high for Season 3. Within our full Youth Academy team, a 24-man squad, this roster has all the promise in the world. Now, let's check up on our main protagonist here in Season 2, and it's the midfield boss, Stefano De Santis. The San Marino players are dominating this video so far with 20 goal contributions and 13 clean sheets. He has definitely been our MVP alongside the Sri Lankan Dilhara Fernando. 11 goals and 7 assists from left midfield as Leo Bernardi led the line up top, and how confidently did he do it with 9 goals and 3 assists for the 18-year-old. Daniel Di Stefano proved to be a bit of a goal-scoring threat from the centre-back spot. Gianmarco Basile in off the bench with 10 goal contributions. The 16-year-old, very encouraging signs. As Alfato Faletose from Tonga, 3 goals and 2 assists in 18 appearances. Upu Samawira, the Sri Lankan right midfielder, 2 goals and 3 assists. And our captain dictating the play, controlling and being the Terminator in the middle of the park. You love to see it, plus 6s and 5s to the overalls everywhere you look. Faletolu with a market value of £6 million, plus up an 185%. Some of these talents sourced from the worst nations ranked in FIFA. You gotta give them props. They have adapted to this climate, and they are now in a transition phase as they are gelling together as one whole unit. This worst nations youth academy squad are proven out there that age is just a number. Double upping last season and finishing in 4th with 83 points. They've secured playoff football yet again as we take a look at the League 1 playoffs. They are now reaching the final up against Rochdale at Wembley to fight for a place in the championship as they breeze past Luton Town, or just got by on aggregate 3-2. We have one game, 2 indoor games to propel this club into 2nd Division football once more. Let's give it a right good crack in front of the roaring Wembley crowd. Can they do it on the quick sim and earn their place in the 2nd Division? And they have with a comfortable 3-1 win. It actually went into extra time. Casade scored the first goal as Gio Bardene and Di Stefano got the finishing goals to put it beyond doubt. We are going up. Say we are going up. They're on a mission. They're on a journey to prove the doubters wrong as we're slowly scaling the footballing leagues here in England. Here are the main performers in our promotion push. He had a goal in the final to push it beyond doubt. Gio Bardene with 26 goals and 10 assists to Sri Lankan with a +7 to his overall this season, 60 appearances. The man does not stop. Unfortunately though, our best player has submitted a transfer request. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Make it make sense as he has had the season of his life. Stefano De Santis, our midfield controller, the San Marino Yaya Toure, perfectly balanced, 16 goals and 16 assists. Tupu had a season to remember again from the left with 12 goals and 2. Basile from the bench with a +5, now standing at a 69 overall, 8 goals and 7 assists. And how is Di Stefano doing this from the back? He's a defensive and attacking mastermind with 7 goals and 3 assists, just like Dilhara Fernando. We have inherited some goal-scoring defenders as Filippo Casade, we converted him to a left back. He scored 5 and got 2. That's a bit more explainable as our striker has been outscored by the rest of the team. Leo Bernardi still finding his shooting boots with 5 goals and 2 assists. And of course our captain, our main man, 4 assists and a goal for the now 77 overall Tongan. Again, the development plans were switched up. We changed a few things around and we well and truly got the best out of training this season. The team right now might be championship ready, but do they have the mentality to stay in the division and even fight for a top half of the table finish? And in order to get to the Prem, it is going to be a massive slog. You've got to be joking, lads. They've had the season of their life. Don't sell me a dream. The worst nations youth academy have sent Wigan up to 5th in the championship, their first season back, and have well and truly earned themselves a playoff spot. Southampton and West Brom going up with over a century of points. We were nowhere to be seen in terms of the top 3. What a campaign they've pulled off this season. I'm honestly lost for words, but if they went all the way, that would have just been a bit too out of reach as they lost out to Nottingham Forest, a heartbreaking 3-2 aggregate scoreline. To see them eliminated from the semi-finals, we've been here before, just like in the League 1 playoffs, and the playoff final is going to be between Nottingham Forest and Brighton. I guess they well and truly earned their stripes this season here in the 2nd tier. One of the roughest and toughest leagues going. They proved their point as Leo Bernardi has finally had a top goal scorer in season, earning our golden boot with 16 goals and 1 assist. The 20-year-old finding the mark with a +5 to his overall, and a player that got a +6, now our first 80 overall player, I believe. Avishka Jayawardine, let's give him the full credit he deserves with double figures in both departments. Goals he scored 14 and 11 assists, that is 25 goal contributions. In here with 15 is his fellow Sri Lankan countryman, 11 goals and 4 assists for Dilhara Fernando, and Di Santis got himself 9 goals and 7 assists from the pivot role in midfield. Tatupu from the left with 7 goals and 1, as our big bad captain, he's our highest overall midfielder and player at the club, Faletolu with 3 goals and 50 appearances. And Marco Basile, I think he's probably one of the best super subs in world football right now, 3 goals and 7 assists from the bench. The 18-year-old has now climbed up to a 75 overall. As our most valuable asset right now, Alfato Fernando Fernando, he's earned his armband with a £56.5 million valuation. Prestigious Premier League promotion is definitely in our sights headed into Season 5. The main objective needs to be reached. Now that we know the worst nations have a bit of class about them, their youth academy talents are proven to be top notch, I'm keen to see what the rest of the decade has in store. We knew our time was now, we set out that high expectations, and we don't have to go through the grueling playoffs to gain promotion to the Premier League, as Wigan are back in the big time. And it's thanks to some incredible scouting and some obscure places around the world. We're going up with Burnley garnering 180 points. The FA Cup saw us get knocked out in a round 4 replay to West Ham 2-1, so we put up a good fight against some Premier League opposition, and we actually took things pretty far in round 3 of the Carabao Cup, only losing out in a 5-goal thriller to Wolves 3-2. And it's Huddersfield Town winning the playoff final and coming up with us with a 2-0 win over Brighton at Wembley. As our development plans continue to be completed, let's take a look at the team and see who the best performers were this season. Are they built to survive life in the Premier League? It's a whole different ball game, but Fernando has really showed up this season, being our main MVP. Our top goal scorer, the Sri Lankan, with 30 goals and 9 assists in the championship. Having his first season with double figures in both goals and assists, that is a whopping 40 goal contributions in 55 appearances. Bow down to our midfield San Marinese GOAT. Jayawardene did have a bit of a quieter season in comparison to his standards. The transfer listed Sri Lankan with 15 goals and 7 assists. Similar numbers to our brand new right winger starter Gianmarco Basile, 12 goals and 7, as Leo Bernardi scored himself 9 goals and 2 assists. He's got to up those numbers if he wants to be one of the main sharpshooters in the Premier League. 3 goals and 3 assists from Casadei from left back, and Di Luca scored the most goals out of all our defenders with 2, as Di Stefano continues to be a playmaker from the back. 7 assists under his belt this season. Now it's a relatively tight and compact squad, as we have gotten some 24 players from the 3 worst nations in the FIFA World Rankings. We're putting the main spotlight on them today, and they are living up to the billing. Our 21-year-old captain, he is one of the eldest and is also the best player at the club. From day one, now he has earned his £86 million valuation on the transfer market, and only the Santis comes close. Things are just all starting to come together now. Our scouts grinding back in Season 1 has paid off, and we have reached the top flight of English football after a grueling 5 seasons. Now don't quote me on this, but I think this side have had one of the best Premier League debuts to go down in history. I was projecting maybe a top half of the table finish. If we were lucky, I was mainly aiming for the mid-table. They were rocketed all the way up to 5th position. They've secured Europa League competition next season, and the Wigan fans are going on a European tour. Oh my god, Arsenal just got relegated, 29 points. AFT, they have just imploded, and the Gunners are going down to the championship. Good riddance. We actually went the furthest in the FA Cup, reaching round 6 and only get knocked out 2-1 to Manchester United, and the Carabao saw a brutal elimination in the quarterfinals to Southampton 4-3 on penalties. These unsung heroes, these cult legends that are about to write their name in Wigan folklore, have come from some of the weirdest places on earth. You would have never expected it, but Stefano De Santis, I wish these national teams were in FIFA, because we could see this impact on the international stage. Maybe, who knows, Sri Lanka could have qualified for a World Cup. San Marino maybe could have won the Euros. We don't know, but I felt like we have given such a great contribution to these nations in terms of football. We had 2 top goal scorers, including De Santis and Fernando, both with 20 goals each, as Jayawardene scored himself double digits in both departments, 10 goals and 11. However, our captain continues to perform and earn the armbands, as 3 goals and 7 assists in 49 appearances, the anchor in the midfield. The Tongans are definitely showing up tonight, as we'll go into our most valuable player, and of course, oh no, we actually have a new king on top. Balatolu has been dethroned, as Ganawardene in between the sticks, the Sri Lankan goalkeeper out of nowhere. At 139.5 million, we have got now 3 9-figure players. Fernando now up to 106.5, and Falatolu from 1st to 3rd. Pack your bag, losers, we're going on a European tour with a youth academy bunch that are reaching for the stars. Is that a cheeky top 4 finish? I see Wigan are up in 3rd, and our youth academy gems from the worst nations have proved to be the best here in England. Only 8 points away from the champions, Man City, but they have made sure qualification for the Champions League in Season 8 has been confirmed, finishing above the likes of Spurs, Liverpool and Chelsea, backing up their credentials last season, proving they're just not a one-season wonder, as we've gone all the way to the FA Cup final up against Liverpool. We all know what happened in 2012. I think it was 2012 or 2013. I'll get mixed up. But Wigan winning against Man City. Can they do it again here at Wembley in 2027? Over in the Carabao Cup, saw us get knocked out in the quarterfinals to Leicester City on penalties 4-3, and the chance for a cheeky double has arisen, as the Europa League final awaits up against European heavy hitters AC Milan. The Latics in a classic European blockbuster, but how did they get there? In the group stages, they faced Lech Poznan, PSV PSV and Young Boys in Group I. Finishing out on top undefeated, they took down Club Brugge 3-2 in the round of 32, eliminating Granada on the way 5-2 in aggregate, and in the quarterfinals they progressed past Atalanta 4-2, and the way they booked their ticket into the finals was knocking out French outfit Olympique Lyon 2-0. This isn't for the faint of heart. I've got some bad news. We failed to actually do some admin work behind the scenes, and we didn't renew the contracts of Feletolese, our right back, Leo Bernardi, our literally only striker. They're all departing the club on a free next season. Not the ideal scenario to end off season 7, as 3 starters are out the door, as Bernardi has found a place at Bayern. With 2 games remaining of the season, 2 trophies are on the line, and we got a major injury. Di Stefano out here on ACL injury. That is not good. We've got Di Luca filling in at the centre back role, and here at Wembley we come out victorious 3-1. Jurgen Klopp's men couldn't do much as Bernardi got in on the case. Basile opened the scoring and got himself a brace in the first half, as the San Marinese ballers are out here proving that Wembley is their training pitch, easing past Liverpool to lift up the FA Cup. We're basking in English glory right now, our first piece of major silverware apart from the playoff final win. Before we progress and play the Europa League final, here were our best performers, and how did De Santis have this kind of season and not go up more? He only went up a +1, now at an 85, but the San Marinese Yaya Toure scored 30 goals and 12 assists in 66 appearances. Fernando cutting in from the left with 27 goals and 8. Basile with that FA Cup final brace with 18 goals and 8 assists, and it's Berardi up top, the new Bayern Munich boy, with 17 goals. Gio Ardene, our main playmaker, with a perfectly balanced 7 goals and 7 assists, and it's unfortunate that our goal-scoring centre-back is injured for the big ones. 7 goals and 4 assists for Di Stefano. Our captain has reclaimed the #1 spot in terms of the most valued in this squad, with a £135 million valuation. He's probably worth more than his whole country. El Capitano is ready to lead the lads out against the Rossoneri, so let's get involved. From unknown youth academy players to diamonds in the rough, now handed the opportunity to become European champions at Wigan Athletic, a combination of players from Tonga, San Marino and Sri Lanka. Who knew that this could be a winning formula, proven to provide success, but can they do it and secure the double this season? We're about to find out as our big boy Bernardi up top gets us underway with kickoff. Our captain De Santis, who's been our main MVP this season, unleashes Basile, and can he get a nice cross in already? AC Milan panicking. Oh dear, this isn't good, but a major tackle from De Luca, and that defensive innovation can get us a counter-attack here as Bernardi has evaded all his defense. Let's hope he's onside. The San Marino baller against Italian opposition has got the first goal here in this Europa League final, and what a way to do it. Our number 29, who's headed off to Bayern at the end of the season, can he cap off his last game for Wigan with a major cup final goal, and he eases it past Donnarumma one-on-one. He kept his cool, and we open the scoring in emphatic fashion. Eases it through to Fernando. Fernando sees an unmarked De Santis, who tries to fake shot his way through, and it's another shot underway from Bernardi as Donnarumma clutched it gracefully. Cut back inside, De Santis might pull away with a shot, and that could have been his 31st of the season if it wasn't for big bad Gigio. For Milan, are they going to pull the trigger, or they're just waiting for the perfect little space to arrive as Gunnar Wardene saves? But that will be half-time. Their first big chance of the game, and it's come right on the half-time whistle. The second 45 is up next. If we can keep this up, might be on our way to European glory. Again, De Santis in the clear. De Santis, our goal-scoring midfielder, gets tripped up, but he doesn't fall over to take the penalty. He crosses it back inside, and how has Gio Ardene missed that? Bernardi sees a beautiful ball inside, and it's Gio Ardene to complete the move as Fernando, it's the Sri Lankan connection to find us our second here in the second half, and it's an 80th minute strike. We've been patiently waiting for that. Lovely bit of footwork from our big striker, and it goes in nutmegs Varane, and it finds Fernando with the easiest goal he'll score. A tap in on an open net, and he evades his defender. He's too quick. Still harder, Fernando, take a bow. You know what could be satisfying? If we get all 3 nations to score in this final. Our captain Faletolu gets caught out, and that will be that. Unfortunately, they all didn't score, but at least Sri Lanka and San Marino got on the score sheet tonight. That is how we're going to leave things. The Tongan didn't score, but at least he can lift up the trophy with the captain's armband. We got our goals first half and second half, a professional performance, and the Latics put them away. Finally, they can celebrate some major silverware, and they are crowned European champions. Growing up where they were, they probably could never have dreamed of this moment, but our scouts and Sir BCHD have provided them with the opportunity to fulfill their footballing dreams. Let me know down in the comments below, what other youth academy ideas would you want to see on the channel? What do you have in mind? What should I do? Make sure if it's your first time around here, hit the notification bell, subscribe, because there is plenty more FIFA/football content coming out on this channel. As always, I've been Sir BCHD. Follow all my socials, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.